Sophie Cunningham has now been fined 4 times this season?
The root of the problem is the officiating is dog shit. Bert and the WNBA actually likes this shit.
After Sophie Cunningham received yet another fine from the WNBA, Caitlin Clark is furious, all for telling the truth. Because it seems that you can poke fun at the team in this league, but you can't discuss it. This goes beyond a simple FINED. It's a complete breakdown.
So, Sophie Cunningham, it happened again.
Caitlin Clark is apparently incensed after Sophie Cunningham receives a fine for pointing out the referees. Not shocked, not perplexed, not angry. For what length of time can this absurdity continue?
It wasn't that long ago that Sophie Cunningham made this little TikTok video. And in said TikTok video, and you can see right here, this was July 23rd, she put this up. It said she got fined $500 by the WNBA for criticizing the refs. At one point in this song, she calls the referees useless.
Let's go back a bit. Sophie quipped that the referees were worthless in a TikTok. She spent $500 on that clip alone. Harsh, of course, however, it didn't stop there.
She has come out, she's been fined again, by the way, by the WNBA because she made comments criticizing when she told them and talked about getting fined for this on her podcast.
So this is what she said. If I was a ref, I know I mess up all the time. I'm not saying your job is easy, but when it's a simple call right in front of your face multiple times, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Then Sophie supposedly had the gall to discuss it openly on her own show. She was not angry. She didn't treat anyone disrespectfully. She only stated something along the lines of, "I would also make mistakes if I were a referee, however." What are you doing when a straightforward call is made directly in front of you? The league hit her with an additional $1,500 fine for it.
I mean, it's bad. It's real bad.
To be clear, maintaining professionalism was not the goal here. The purpose of this was to discipline someone for not playing along. Sophie was quiet and careful. She told the truth. She went on to say that although officiating is difficult, it seems that in the WNBA, admitting when you're wrong is illegal.
But Sophie Cunningham said, "Hold my beer. I got a podcast. I got this platform. I'm going to speak my mind. I'm not going to toe the company line."
To find you again. They're like, I was like, I even told them, I even credited them that their job was hard.
The real kicker is about to happen. To make matters worse, Sophie's podcast, Show Me Something, is actually generating a lot of traffic. For the league, not for her, she is being open and honest. She is revealing the true nature of what goes on behind the scenes. Additionally, the WNBA is acting as though they have something to conceal. She even described how, as she was in middle school, her general manager called her aside in front of the entire staff to inform her about the FINED.
Sophie Cunningham probably made about 7 or 8 grand from that podcast, first podcast.
Ironically, she made over $7,000 from that same podcast broadcast that resulted in her fine, excluding the viral YouTube videos or advertisements. The league is now attempting to discipline her by imposing these little penalties, but their only goal is to increase her platform. Every fine results in another viral moment, another headline, and an increase in podcast listenership. It isn't disciplined, free promotion, that is.
That sounds pretty accurate for the WNBA officiating.
And it is adored by fans. She is emerging as the voice that many were unaware they needed. Referees continue to overlook vicious fouls like the ones hurled at Caitlin Clark throughout the season, despite the WNBA's efforts to uncover players who voice basic concerns. People are beginning to wonder why words are punished more severely than actual acts of violence, and with good reason.
It's a hilarious thing. I just think it's hilarious. If I'm not mistaken, all she said was talking about, the refs need to protect. I'm pretty sure. Was it not for her saying the refs need to protect Caitlin Clark?
This year, Caitlin has endured more elbows, cheap shots, and obvious hits than any other person. And for that, how many fines have been imposed? 0 exactly. Sophie Cunningham, meanwhile, believes that referees should defend the league's reputation, and she is penalized for uttering those words out. She was reprimanded for actually standing up for Caitlin.
Essentially said the refs need to protect Caitlin Clark, and like Caitlin Clark said, finally someone did it. Like, she basically talked about being like the refs need to protect the face of the league.
The outcry was caused by this, since Sophie is the one who has been abandoned on the ground without a whistle. Clark is fully aware of the difficulties she faces. Thus, Caitlin did more than simply stand by Sophie when she spoke up, since it's not only about Sophie, she felt seen. It concerns all of the players who share the same sentiments but are unable to express them. This is where the twist lies. Sophie isn't even angry. She's laughing uncontrollably. The exposure is worth it, even though the fines may hurt a little. Every time the WNBA discovers her, her following grows, her message becomes more widely known, and people begin to raise the awkward concerns the league is afraid to address.
Sophie Cunningham also getting fined for what she had to say about the referee.
For example, why does it pay $1,500 to call out inconsistencies, but nothing to leave Caitlin Clark laying on the court following a dirty shot? Why must Sophie bear the cost alone for speaking the truth, since the fines are about control rather than regulations, if we're being honest, and she's had enough of Caitlin Clark.
Down, and DeWanna Bonner disappeared like a ghost.
How about we discuss Dana Bonner? Because, wow, this is messier than Taco Tuesday's cafeteria chili.
She's talking behind the scenes with her boo. Hey, you gonna tell you? Nah, fuck them.
Like, it's okay to be professional about it and like send a text to your teammates. Send a text and be like, hey, like, love you guys. Or you don't even have to say love you guys. Just like, hey, sorry this didn't work out. Good luck. Da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? Like, there's a way to handle that.
So Dana Bonner discreetly left Indiana like she was in a spy film, while the WNBA is out here looking for Sophie Cunningham for, speaking facts. No farewell, no news release, and no best wishes group text. She immediately gave the team a boost in her podcast. Sophie put it best. DeWanna Bonner vanished like a phantom.
When we say DeWanna Bonner quit on her team, she literally quit on her team.
Furthermore, none of the players had any idea what was happening. Hey, have you heard from DB? People were actually whispering as they moved through the dressing room. Not at all. So, did anyone hear from her the next day? Crickets are still present. Coworkers began to realize one by one that she was leaving, but she had no intention of telling them.
While she was conspiring behind the scenes on how to get out of Indiana, how to take that money and run,
she continued to get compensated in the interim. Yes, you heard correctly. Dana Bonner was allegedly arranging her leave behind closed doors, cashing her checks, and remaining silent while everyone else was busting their tails on the court.
She left her teammates in the dark. She left her teammates just like us, wondering what the heck is going on.
And the team's morale was destroyed by that quiet. It was more than just a player quitting, it was akin to treachery. And that brings us full circle to the league.
But the team is just as in dark as the fans were.
Because Sophie Cunningham receives fines for asking, "Oh, you thought we were done?" Yet Dana Bonner can disappear in the middle of the season without even leaving a post-it note. Not even close. Fans are furious over this. So let's talk about the WNBA's double standards.
Hey, the root of the problem is the officiating is dog shit.
Give it time to marinate. If a player requests that officials perform their duties, they will be penalized. Alyssa Thomas, meanwhile, does nothing except shoulder check Clark on national television. We're analyzing the play statement. There will be no fine, warning, or even a fake. Simply use the shrug emoji. The league has made its point very plain. You are free to foul, but keep it to yourself. That's not being a sportsman. Damage control is that. Don't make us appear terrible. That's PR 101.
If you had referees that were actually doing their jobs, getting calls correct, and by the way, keeping some kind of law and order in the league, you wouldn't have a player that's having to go on their podcast talking about The officiating blows. There's a petition over the WNBA officiating, how bad it is, over Sophie Cunningham getting fined. That is great.
And the fans are finished. They're rallying, not just being irritated. Within hours, hundreds of fans signed a petition calling for improvements to WNBA officiating. Support for Sophie is abounding in the comment sections.
Man, Sophie Cunningham in this podcast, it's just getting her in trouble, huh?
She is no longer merely a player. Sophie's has grown into a movement. She is being referred to as the Fever Enforcer. Indeed, merchandise bearing that title is being marketed. Hoodies, t-shirts, and very likely bumper stickers as well, additionally. They are selling because fans are acting on their words. Instead of supporting the censorship apparatus, they are supporting the truth teller. The WNBA sought to silence Sophie. Instead, what did they do? They increased her volume.
The tickets for this game, for this All-Star game, they've dropped by 50%.
The league spokesperson, Caitlin Clark, sits sidelined during all of this, witnessing her teammates suffer blow after blow for speaking up. She's not only upset about the penalties, she is upset because this league punishes its players for standing up for one another even though it says it supports them. What are we even doing here is a question you must eventually ask.
Dewana Bonner, you sly dog.
As if it were a dating app, one player is ignoring her teammates. With a fan base that is more united than ever, another person was punished for pointing out fouls that we all witnessed firsthand. It's against the league, not around it. Additionally, Sophie Cunningham is the antagonist in some way. Let's begin. Under those fluorescent boardroom lights, everyone is fretting over the WNBA ratings bombshell.
And tickets and kind of boycott this year All-Star game. That is because of the refereeing in regards to Caitlin Clark being targeted and pretty much not having a special whistle.
1.6 million viewers, average, with a peak of 2 million.
Here's the deal then, Caitlin Clark is more than a newbie. She is more than a celebrity. She is the WNBA's complete ratings engine, attached like a jetpack to the back. Additionally, her games continue to draw an average of 1.6 million spectators. Despite her injury, a few games even surpassed 2 million players, still generating numbers like a Super Bowl. And despite being injured on the bench, it's obvious that Clark is unhappy. For more WNBA news, hit the subscribe button and like this video.